My name is Leah Penniman. I'm the farm manager and one of the founding co-directors at Soulfire Farm in Grafton, New York, and we are a Black, Indigenous, and people of color-led community farm that's dedicated to uprooting racism and seeding sovereignty in the food system. So that means we grow a whole lot of food and medicine and make sure it gets to those who need it most in our community through a doorstep delivery program. We also run training programs for thousands of beginning farmers from the Black and brown communities every year. And then finally, we're involved in regional and national advocacy to make the food system more fair for the people who grow our food and all of us who need to eat it. Soulfire itself was born because my partner Joan and I were living in the South End on Grand Street and struggling to find fresh vegetables to feed our young family. We had 2 children under the age of 2. And there was no supermarket, no farmer's market, no available community garden plots. So when our neighbors found out that we knew how to farm, they started half-jokingly saying, you know, when are you gonna start the farm for the people? And we took that really seriously and began looking for land within a stone's throw of Albany to open a farm that specifically would be dedicated to bringing fresh food into the South End, which is work that we still do, but now we also bring food in several other neighborhoods in Albany and Troy. Over the past year with the pandemic, it's been really powerful to see that a lot of the things we've been doing for the past decade suddenly are in the public eye and feel even more necessary. We're dedicated to food justice and racial justice, and we know that with the supermarket shelves laid bare and the cracks in the industrial food system made more evident, there were closures of meat packing and food processing plants, major shortages, disruption in supply chains. We saw that the industrial food system, while it might be efficient, it's not nimble. But the local, regenerative, small-scale food system is very nimble. People were able to pivot to no-contact deliveries, to selling online, to engaging a volunteer base to get food to elders within 24 hours. We also have our expanded Soulfire in the City raised bed garden program, and so we provide no-cost raised beds and all the materials and technical assistance needed for people to grow their own food in the neighborhoods that are surviving food apartheid. So that's our local work that we're very excited about. And then on a national scale, we're about to launch a new fellowship called the Braiding Seeds Fellowship, which will provide 10 Black and brown farmers every year with a salary, technical assistance, mentorship, one-on-one support to start their own farm. I think one of the lessons our team learned over the past year when we were all given permission to think about engaging in virtual space instead of face-to-face and in a room was what we could leverage, the power we could leverage in virtual space. So we found that by using a webinar format or using a digital format for many of our programs, we're able to reach many more people. We're able to have simultaneous interpretation in multiple language in ways we haven't been able to address communities that have different abilities in terms of access to sight and hearing. So that's been powerful. I think for me, there's so many highlights with 5 to Watch, but a lot of it was the informal connection between the leaders who are in the program. For example, Coach Carmen and I have had several personal conversations about how do we support one another as leaders and how do we deal with some of the tricky internal issues that we might not be able to go to our board about, we might not be able to go to our staff, but we can go to another leader who might have experienced that. How do we deal with this budget gap? How do we deal with training employees in a way that really gets them onboarded efficiently? How do we deal with being able to take a break without everything falling apart? What does that look like? So it's been special to be provided with this opportunity to talk to other leaders that find ourselves in similar places, and really to remind ourselves that we're there for each other and that we can provide that knowledge and insight.